In this video, I'm going to share with you the power of written goals. You know, most people have an idea of what their goals are, but they don't have them written down. But did you know successful people do understand the value of written goals versus just thinking about them and take the time to write them down? In this video, you're going to learn how you can actually reach your potential and increase your performance and productivity, get more accomplished by having written goals. We're going to step through not just the benefits, but how to actually write these goals down in a way that's going to support you. There's a story I want to share with you about goal setting. The story is about a Harvard Business School graduating class. They were asked one simple question: do you have written goals and a plan for their attainment? Well, 84%, the majority of the class, didn't have written goals. 13% did have written goals, but a special few, 3%, not only had written goals, but also had the plan for their attainment. Well, 10 years later, they went back to each of those students to assess their performance and productivity and how well they did. And this was measured on their income. Well, that group that actually had written goals was making twice as much as the majority that didn't. Twice as much. But here's the kicker. That small 3% that actually had written goals and a concrete plan to attain them, well, they were making 10 times as much as everyone else. It pays to have written goals. What are the drawbacks of not having written goals? Well, what happens is when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And the consequences are pretty clear. Not having clear goals and action steps and priorities and how to achieve them really creates a life that is prone to drifting. And if you're not clear with what your goals are, chances are someone else will make sure that you help them achieve their goals. And we don't want to be in that position. And so what happens is a lot of times the decisions that we make, because we don't have a clear compass and a map, it's almost like a ship that is drifting in the sea and doesn't have a clear destination. And you swirl in life and years can go by, you've accomplished nothing. So what are the benefits to having written goals? Well, the first benefit is it really helps you with decision making. You're going to be so focused and crystal clear with what it is that you want, it's going to be easy for you to decide. For instance, if you have written goals for 1 to 3 years, which is more short-term goals, and maybe 5 to 10 years, your long-term goals, you're going to really need to sit down and assess what it is you want to be, do, and have for your life. And what are those values that you have that drive those goals? And once we have them written down, it's almost like you have a compass and a map of which to navigate life with. And so it's so important to have written goals because it supports you with making decisions. The other thing too is the benefit of having written goals is it gives you that excitement and that motivation to see your life having just accomplishments. When you accomplish things in life, there's nothing more than that sense of satisfaction that gives you. I would say the third thing is it gives you a life purpose. And so having written goals, it gives you that purpose in life that's so important to make that sense that your life is worth living. You're focused on positive things. You see, your goals are going to be forward thinking, and you're going to have that momentum, always looking forward and achieving great things. And so with that excitement and motivation, who has time for feeling sad or not seeing the good things in life? And so you're moving your life towards the direction of your dreams. So you're going to be so much more positive. And I'd say the last thing would be that it helps us with that clarity we need to filter things out of our life that don't serve us. When we have written goals, It's so much easier to let people and activities go that don't support you. You're also not going to be available to taking your time that's so precious to accomplish someone else's dreams and goals. For instance, if it's your goal to create your own business and have your own business, well, you're no longer available to spend overtime and your nights and your weekends working on somebody else's dream. No, you're actually protecting that time and using that time to build up yours. So you see, these are simple examples, but they're extremely powerful that are really going to support you to achieve and accomplish your potential. So how do you write your goals? Well, I personally use the SMART model for goal setting. And that model is an acronym that spells SMART. So you want your goals to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. And so that shows all the characteristics that you need to structure a well-written goal. For example, let's say you are a small business owner and you want to continue to grow. Maybe one of your goals can be to hire a part-time assistant by December, let's say, and this person is going to support you with bookkeeping and with also with administrative tasks. So there you have a SMART goal. And why is that? Well, let's kind of, decompose this a little bit. First of all, it's very specific. You know that you're going to get a part-time assistant, okay? And it's also measurable because you've got a target date. You said you were going to get this person by December. It's also achievable because you've assessed your income, expenses, and you know you have the capacity to add another resource. Now, is it realistic? Well, think about this. We didn't say a full-time uh, assistant. We said a part-time. Maybe that's more realistic than, let's say, a full-time, person. And so that is a small difference. But I wanted you to see how important it is to also make these goals realistic for your time frame that you're looking at. Possibly a long-term goal for this person, this business owner, may be to hire a full-time staff, right? As a long-term, but right now this is a short-term goal, right? And they want this person within the next 6 months, let's say. So it's going to be achievable and realistic because this person's a part-time role, right? And timely. So again, we made sure that we time boxed this goal for the next 6 months to be accomplished by December. And so it's a very simple goal, so very simply written, but it has all the characteristics of that SMART model that helps you really at a psychological level be able to be very clear and focused on what it is that you're measuring yourself against. And a lot more potential for achieving it and accomplishing it at the time that you want versus not at all. Let's say, for instance, you take that same goal and you remove one of those characteristics, one of those elements. Let's say you remove the time, the December date. Now you have a goal that reads, hire a part-time assistant that will help me with the administrative and the bookkeeping tasks. Oh gosh, well, by when? And so years can go by and you still have that goal written. Now you're drifting, you see? So it's important to make sure that each of those elements are there. Let's say the element of part-time wasn't there, we said full-time assistant. Is it realistic? Well, no, because we said that on the onset that this small business owner doesn't have the budget for a full-time assistant. Definitely not by December. And so that's not realistic. So it doesn't meet one of those characteristics. So that's not what we want, right? So spend some time really crafting a SMART goal for yourself. Start with your short-term goals. I'll typically have about 10 goals, 5 short-term, 5 long-term, that really supports me to have that sense of excitement and motivation as I take off during the year, those accomplishments that I've had. So I'm really excited to see the benefits that this is going to bring to your life as you craft your goals with the SMART model. There's one more point that I wanted to bring up on goal setting and goal writing. We want to prepare for challenges because sometimes we have these goals written down, but it might take a little longer than we expected to achieve them. And my message to you is don't give up, stay focused. It's almost like you've planted a seed on the ground. Do you ever get discouraged when those seeds don't come up? No, you know that as long as there's sun and you're consistently watering this seed, it's only a matter of time before it blossoms and it grows. So getting discouraged is not going to serve you, because one thing that you don't see is that underneath that soil, that seed is germinating, and it's going to take its time and sprouting, okay, before it touches the edge of that soil and that you can actually see it. So many things that you're doing, working towards your goals, you may not necessarily see that fully accomplished end result, but it's germinating, right? It's growing underneath that soil. So don't give up. Continue to add sun and water, and you will definitely see this goal realized when you stay focused. In fact, the Book of Wisdom encourages this. It says, "But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded." Be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded. So I really feel the sense of motivation and excitement when I read these words, because it encourages me never to give up, to keep going, because if it's written and it's possible, then it will be done. So in conclusion, having written goals is really going to increase your likelihood for success. I've created a goal creation masterclass just for you. Click on the link below so that you can go ahead and enroll to this class. It's going to support you with setting and achieving your goals. We step you through identifying your values, creating your vision, mission, and really having a clear set of goals that's reflective across all areas of your life. Also, like this video if you've enjoyed the content, and subscribe so you're notified on new videos.